What's up, Ohio? She Shreds with Rasan here, and I am joined by Dan Gates with Vicar Blood, who I spoke with earlier this year. And I just wanted to have him back on because his band, Vicar Blood, they're going to be playing at Inkarceration coming up not this Friday, but next Friday. So, Dan, thanks so much for joining me again and coming back
Right?
to talk about what you've got going on.
Yeah, thanks a
I know
lot for
you
having
guys are
me
super
again.
excited.
We are for sure.
So, what all have you done to get prepared for this?
Well, like I mentioned the last time, we've been working on a full length album. Unfortunately, that's not going to be out before the show, but we have put quite a bit of time into that. We're making good progress on that. So, aside from that, we've just been practicing and, we don't play a lot of shows. We did play a show probably a month and a half ago, 2 months, something like that. We opened for Unmerciful up in Cleveland, and that was fun. It was just kind of a way to get on stage, and it was only the second show we've ever played. So we just kind of wanted to get another one under our belt before we go out to Incarceration and, play the big stage. Well, not the big stage. We're on the little stage, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's a big deal, and it's so
Yeah.
awesome because you guys are from Ohio, and, you don't live very far from, where the Incarceration Festival will be happening anyways, so
Right.
it's just cool all the way around no matter how you look at it.
Definitely. We're definitely very excited about it. Really looking forward to it.
Okay. Now, are any of you guys do you plan to be in town ahead of time? Like Thursday night, there's a couple of different parties going on, or will you just plan to be here on Friday?
I think some of us will be there, maybe most of us will be there Thursday night, and then
Okay.
a few of us will probably be there probably the whole weekend.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Will you
So,
be
yep,
camping out?
we got a hotel for one night. I think we're camping another. We're kind of
Okay. A
still
little bit of
figuring it out.
everything.
Yeah. But
That's awesome. Yeah, I was talking to somebody too recently, and a lot of the residents that live right across the street from the Ink Festival, they rent out their yards, for people that want to camp. So,
yeah, we did kind of explore that a little bit. And I think Veda has a friend. We're going to camp Saturday night there, and it'll all work out. We'll figure it out. I'll sleep in my truck if I have
oh,
to.
there you go. As long as you can return for the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you guys are actually opening up the festival on Friday, and you guys are
Well,
going on at noon, 12:15.
12:15. Yeah, we originally were scheduled for like 11:30, I think, and then so
Hmm.
now there is somebody on that stage before us that day, and I think somebody starts on one of the main stages even before that. So we kind of thought we
Okay.
might end up being the first band of the festival, but it turns out we're not.
Do you know who the first band is? I'm looking at the itinerary that came out, and it still shows you guys as being the first band, unless I could be looking at an old copy too. So there's Vicar Blood, and then Jeffrey Nothing, and then Corpse Pile, Snuffed on Sight, Entheos, Peeling Flesh, and Sanguisugabog.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I haven't looked in a while, but I think there is somebody that plays one of the main stages, starts anyway first, and then somebody plays the infirmary stage. So I think we're second on that stage now if it still stands like that, because they changed the
Okay.
original set list.
Right. And that makes sense if you're originally at 11:30, but now you're 12:15.
Yeah, so I think somebody actually does start at 11:30. It's just not us now.
Okay. And are you familiar or do you have any contacts with any of the bands on the infirmary stage this year?
Yes. I'm actually very good friends with the Sanguisugabog guys, and so I'm excited to
Okay.
see them. I've seen them a handful of times. They're really, really good dudes. I've known Devin, the vocalist, for quite a while from past bands, and we played shows together. And then their guitar player, Drew, he's in a band called Mutilatred out of Toledo, so I've known him for quite a while. Cody, well, he's the drummer, but he was playing guitar on the last tour, so I know him too. Not as well as the other two guys, but he's super nice guy, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them.
All right. Awesome. And are you excited to see any certain bands while you're there on Friday?
Yes, I want to see Peeling Flesh. I want to see Entheos too. I think Cypress Hill's Friday too, right? I think
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
excited to see them.
Cypress
I've
Hill.
never been like a super fan of that band or anything, but because they're there and they've been around for so long, I'm excited to see them.
Yeah. I've never seen Cypress Hill either. So I'm glad that they'll be there on Friday. They are there. Let's see, Starset. They're a band from Ohio. They
Okay.
play before Cypress Hill, and then Disturbed will close out on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no
So
matter how you look at it, it's just cool to be there and hear all the music, the metal, the people, the love, the vibes, and, it only comes around once a year, so when it
yeah.
comes, everybody's super excited.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we knew about it for so long and we couldn't say anything. And then finally you're allowed to say something and you say it and it still seems like it's so far off in the distance. And then next thing you know, it's sneaking right up on you. So, but we're good. We had a really good practice last night. We've been practicing. We feel good. We're excited about it.
Awesome. So, do you have anything lined up that we hadn't talked about last time, lined up
We
for
are
the rest of 2026?
The only other thing we have right now, we're going to finish the album. That's going to be top priority. We're waiting on a few
Okay,
things. Yeah, we're waiting on a few things
nice.
from the studio before we can finish it up, and we're going to
Okay.
get that knocked out. And then we're playing November 13th, I think it is, at Globe Iron in Cleveland, and it's with two old school bands that are reuniting, Ascension and Skipline, and both of those bands have members of Chimera. Yeah, and funny story too is back when I was in a band called Ton back in the 90s, we played with
Mhm.
Ascension in Akron. And so I remember talking to Matt, the guitar player there. We traded some things. I ended up with a shirt. I don't know if I gave him a shirt or a CD, but we traded something and I had a shirt. But yeah, they're a really cool band, more on the hardcore side, same with Skipline. But it should be a cool show because I remember I'd never seen Skipline, but I remember my friends who are in hardcore bands back in the 90s talking about them, speaking very highly of them. And so yeah, that's gonna be another really cool show.
Awesome. And you said that they're reuniting. How long has it been since they played
I think
as a
like
band?
30 years maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow, that sounds really cool. And that's happening in November?
Yeah, I think it's November 13th. It's at the Globe Iron in Cleveland.
Okay. Sweet. I
Yeah,
think a couple years ago Chimera played at Ink,
they did. I saw.
like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep, I think it was 2 years ago, I believe, because I was out there with my friends in the Behest of Serpents, and I saw.
Okay. Yeah, there was one year where I didn't go all 3 days. It was probably when they played because I know that they were at Ink, but I don't remember seeing them.
Yeah, yeah, they're a great live band.
Don't I bet you it's the day that I didn't make it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I've seen them a handful of times. I saw them at the Cleveland Agora several years ago, and really good band. I mean, local legends from Cleveland.
Right.
So yeah, they always pack them in.
I know. I remember back in the day, I was always like, "How do you pronounce their name?"
Yeah, I've heard people say it
For
several
Chimera.
different ways. Yeah, Chimera,
Yeah.
Chimera, Chimera.
Chimera. Well, there's no doubt in how we pronounce Vicar Blood.
I've heard quite a few people say Vicar, so
Well, I could see that. Yeah,
but not. That's
that's
probably
all
not a
right.
word that everybody knows because I didn't know that word when Veda first presented that idea for the band. I had to look it up. I
What,
wasn't even sure
Vicar?
what it was. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I wish I would have reached out to her ahead of time because I thought about it when it was too late to have her on with you today. But she seems pretty creative and funny at the same time.
yeah, she has plenty to say.
My goodness. And so it's okay. So it's you, and then there's Veda who does vocals, and then Charlie, is he still with you on drums? Okay. And then is it Dan? No, who does bass?
Steve Fernandez plays bass, and
Steve. Okay. All right.
yeah, and Will Bulldog plays guitar also.
Okay. All right. Nice.
Yeah, it's a good group of people, definitely talented people, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Well, you guys are definitely ready to play, and I've been seeing you practice a lot, and you're posting about it. So it sounds like it's we're finally making some headway. You'll get some
Hopefully,
good
I
recognition.
I keep posting about incarceration. I'm like, man, people are probably getting sick of me talking about this, but we're just trying to, being that we're such a new band and we're trying to create a following for ourselves. We're just trying to make as many people aware as possible and just hopefully get some people there to see us. I mean, that's the whole goal.
Awesome. And what platform would you say you have the most responses from your audience? Is there one over the other, or it doesn't matter?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure because Veda pretty much controls the TikTok and does most of the posting on, does all the posting on Instagram. And so I kind of just leave that to her. And then most of the posting I do, I just do on my own pages. And then I'll tag the band or collaborate with the band or whatever. And she does that with me too, with even with the band page, just collab with me on YouTube or all the platforms, just so kind of goes out everywhere.
It seems like each platform is starting to kind of have its own use, for when you're posting things. They don't all work the same.
Yeah, I've been kind of feeling that way too. I do have my Instagram tied to Facebook, but I don't always just let it post to Facebook. Sometimes I'll post differently,
Oh,
and then sometimes I'll just let it go over to Facebook. But then, like my TikTok, I do stuff on TikTok that I don't do on the other socials. I've been trying to post on there more regularly. Yeah, I started TikTok quite a while back, and then I kind of dabbled in it, then got away from it, and then started trying to do it more regularly. And it's actually been kind of cool because I've interacted with a lot of people. Actually, got a couple of cool opportunities through it. Lots of people coming up to me when I go out to shows saying they've seen me on there. So even though I don't have a huge following, it seems to be working.
yeah. People say if you do it consistently, which is at least once a day, that's the key. So I see you out there on TikTok. You're posting something almost every morning on is it your front porch with
Yeah,
your
I like
cup
to
of
do
coffee?
the coffee on the front porch videos. Yeah. So yeah, I've been trying to be more consistent with that. And just because it seems, like I said, it seems to be working. People come up to me, they recognize me. And I don't know if you saw, I recently had the Cleveland Browns reached out to me, and I'm getting to do some things with them, which
Yes.
is
I was just going
really
to bring
cool.
that up.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Cool.
I actually got an Instagram message from the Cleveland Browns Instagram page. And I was like, that's
Really?
weird. Yeah, I was like, "That's weird." And so when I was reading the message, it said they needed a guitar player. They thought I was perfect for what they needed, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, is this real? And so I messaged back. I was like, "Look, is this like a mass messaging thing? Or you?" Because I'm like, why would the Cleveland Browns be interested in a death metal dude? And then I got home that night and I was checking my emails, and they had actually emailed me too. So I was like, oh man,
Sweet.
I guess
So
this
that
is
kind of
real.
verified it.
Yeah, so I ended up going up and filming some video with them, and I thought that's all it was going to be. And they told me it was going to be a part of a video that they're going to put on the big screen when the players come out onto the field. And then, they invited me out for the opening day to see it on the big screen and everything. And then 2 weeks later, they messaged me again, and they said, "Well, we were thinking it would be really cool if you could actually be here and play." And the way I understand it right now, which I haven't really said this, I don't think publicly, but just because I'm not supposed to keep it quiet or anything. I guess stuff like this, it's just kind of a big deal. So I almost hate to say it and then have it not happen. But what they told me is I'd be playing like a 30-second guitar solo, and then when the video kicks in that I'm a part of, I would be playing along to the music that's in the video. So I'd
Oh
be a
my
part of the video on
God.
the screen, and I would be there in person. So
Dan,
should be
that is
pretty cool.
so fucking awesome.
I know. I called my dad right away. He's been a Browns fan forever, and so have I. I was like, "You got to go to the game with me."
That is so cool. I'm so happy for you.
Thanks. Yeah, it's kind of nerve wracking, but at the same time, I said yes immediately. I mean, you can't turn something like that down.
Yeah. Now, would you turn it down if it was for a team that you despise?
No, I mean, if the Pittsburgh Steelers asked me, that would be a little weird, but I'd probably still do it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like you said, it would be pretty hard to turn down. So is the plan that they will play that with every game opener at home,
I think.
the video that you made?
I think so. It's supposed to be like a
Nice.
hype video, before they come out. So they're like scheduling me to play at like 12:45. The game starts at 1, so it's like I do my thing, they roll the video, and it only takes a couple of minutes, but still pretty cool.
So you will be there at the home opener playing live along with the video that you got to make with them.
That's
That's
what I
pretty
was
cool. What
told.
an accomplishment.
Yeah, and I guess the point in bringing this up was they found me on TikTok actually. So, I mean,
Okay.
things happen.
Did they find you just through your personal postings or
Yeah.
was
They
it
said they needed a
okay.
guitar player, and they started looking, and they found me.
Nice. Well, I've noticed too that you will put out educational content. Sometimes on your TikTok, you'll mention, like, here's a good band to listen to. So you make that suggestion. And then on your YouTube, you'll put out like the educational content and kind of like some reviews of equipment. And haven't you been picked up by some name brand equipment as well?
Yeah, I have an endorsement with Solar Guitars and SIT strings. And actually I just made a video sort of about this the other day and posted it. And it's one of those things where just trying to be educational, I guess. Not I mean, as an older guy in the metal scene, not trying to tell anybody how to do anything, but just kind of share my
Mhm.
experience. And It's a video I've been thinking about for a while because I like to share that information, but it's also one of those things where I felt a little self-conscious about it because I didn't want to come off like I was Mr. 30 years in death metal and I know it all kind of thing because I didn't mean it like that. And I did bring up the endorsement side of that too in that video, just kind of telling because I get people asking me, and I sometimes feel like people think that like it's easy to or maybe not that it's easy to get an endorsement, but like just anybody can do it. And anybody can do it, but you need to put work into it so that, because companies aren't going to just give you stuff or give you a discount or whatever for nothing. It's a two-way street. So you have to be doing things and putting yourself out there. And so the video I made was like about that, about just, kind of get over feeling self-conscious, even though I still struggle with it sometimes, and just put yourself out there and try and see what happens, create opportunities. And yeah, so I made the video, I put it out there. I didn't really post about it on social media or anything, and it's not getting many views, but it's like, who cares? It's out there.
Yeah. Well, and I feel watching what you do put out there too, you're very relatable. So if anybody were to say that you came across as like a pompous metal head out there trying to plug all these products and stuff, then they're really way off base because you don't give off that vibe at all. And I think you come across very humble, but you have some experience and knowledge that you want to share. So who
Yeah.
wouldn't want to hear from somebody who has been playing music as long as you have?
Yeah, and I go to shows and, younger guys come up to me sometimes and they ask me questions, whether it's about things that happened in the past or just how I'm making my videos or whatever, and or just talking old school metal. And that's fun to do. I like doing that. And they seem very interested in it. And so that's why I made that video. But yeah, just trying to put some info out there.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can be a good example too for others where it's not all about being an influencer, and you have to know your audience and what you do and give them the information that they're going to find useful from
Yeah.
somebody that's knowledgeable. So
Yeah. I don't know a lot, but I know a little.
I know stuff.
Some stuff.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you want to say to Ohio before we see you on the stage at Ink?
Well, I would say that if you have any interest in seeing my band at Inkarceration Fest, be at the Infirmary stage by 12:15 because that's when we start. We will have some shirts for sale there. Aside from that, I would say just vicarblood.com and keep an eye out. We'll have a brand new full-length album at some point this year. I don't know exactly when or how it's going to be released, but we're working on it, and it's going to be out there.
All right, Ohio, you heard it from Dan Gates with Vicar Blood, and they're going to be playing at the Inkarceration Festival, the Infirmary stage, 12:15 p.m. on Friday, July the 17th. Yes, I always have to look at my calendar. But yeah, thank you so much for coming back on, Dan. Always a pleasure to have you on. Can't wait to see you guys, meet you all in person, and walk out to you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me again, and I look forward to meeting you.
No problem. All right, Ohio, you heard it first. And until next time, keep it loud.